Pennsylvania, Mr. Meuser, who is the chair of the Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too support and applaud the full committee and commend the leadership for the 21st Century Act, including Chairman Hill, Housing Subcommittee Chair Mike Flood, Ranking Member Maxine Waters, and Representative Cleaver. Housing affordability is a supply problem, and federal policy has made it far too slow and expensive to build. President Trump, working with Secretary Scott Turner, has already begun fixing federal housing policy by cutting the red tape, restoring a pro-growth regulatory approach, and emphasizing that affordability starts with supply. That shift has helped stabilize construction inputs like lumber prices and refocus HUD on enabling housing production rather than new mandates. This bill builds on that approach, removing federal barriers so homes can actually get built faster, cheaper, and at scale without creating new federal spending. Today, it costs roughly $100,000 before the shovel hits the dirt, and home builders cannot economically build a new home for, many say, less than $250,000. By limiting duplicative reviews and fixing outdated programs, this legislation directly lowers those costs. This bill modernizes outdated housing laws by improving coordination between HUD and USDA programs and updating FHA multifamily loan limits so they reflect today's construction costs. It also improves the usability of core community development programs like HOME and CDBG, so local governments can deploy resources to produce housing instead of getting caught up in the blue tape. Importantly, this legislation makes it easier for veterans to access home ownership by reducing administrative barriers that delay or complicate the use of VA home loan benefits, helping veterans compete in today's tight housing market and close on a home faster. For rural communities, this bill makes it easier to build manufactured modular housing, one of the most cost-effective ways to expand housing supply outside of major metro areas while improving access for financing for these homes. As well, the bill expands access to small dollar mortgages and removes unnecessary barriers to refinancing entry-level homes, which is critical for first-time buyers and working families. At a time when the country faces a housing shortage of roughly 4.5 million homes, and we build only 1.4 million units per year, every unnecessary delay matters. Every home built generates approximately $90,000 in economic activity. It's a great multiplier, and housing accounts for nearly 20% of U.S. GDP. Lastly, this bill does not mandate zoning changes or impose federal land use decisions. It respects local control while removing federal obstacles that drive up costs and delay projects. If we want more housing families can afford, especially for veterans and in rural communities, we need to make it easier to build them. This bill does exactly that. So I urge my colleagues to support the Bipartisan Housing for the 21st Century Act, and I yield back.